Really need to be asking questions about if these organoids can do what people are claiming they can do, and we really need to talk about bioethics. But I wanted to talk about another issue that I have with this, the idea that aliens would have to come down to bestow sentience is also rooted in this discomfort with the very prominent scientific perspective that things happen randomly, even things that we find really amazing. So the way that we evolved for our brains to learn and remember things, and the way that we evolved and changed and went from man apes, as it's called in the books, to Homo sapiens, that all happened through processes that are a lot more out of our control and harder to wrap our head around than the idea of a greater force bestowing on us. And in that sense, aliens are really just taking the place of God in this conversation. So that's something else to think about in this sci-fi and any sci-fi where you come across these ideas. This excerpt also had a few other concepts that I wanted to talk about. It talks about neuroplasticity. It doesn't call it that, but it talks about the way that when we learn and grow, our brains actually change on a cellular and therefore atomic level. Neuroplasticity is in my area of research. I'm published on a paper where we were studying neuroplasticity. I'm very proud of it. It's really interesting. Let me know if you want to learn more about that. So we know a lot more about neuroplasticity than we did when this book first came out, and I think that that's really cool. Another concept that comes up in this excerpt that I am interested in as a scientist, and this is actually what I was meant to be doing my PhD on. I had a medical emergency and I had to leave the program, but I started in a lab with a well-known epigenetics researcher. So this is the, not just the idea, this is the reality that there are some things about how our genes are expressed that can be changed throughout our life and passed on to our children that are different from mutations, so specifically methylation and demethylation. So we see this idea in this book of the idea that not only can our genes change, but those changes get passed down, and this is not only through mutations, which a lot of us know about, but also through the process of epigenetics, which I think we should all learn more about.